You're listening to the SweetLife Entrepreneur Podcast. Simplified strategies to grow your service business and launch a life you love faster. With business mentor and entrepreneur activator, April Beach.
Email it to her. It's the hello at April Beach, but then also email it just to me. So I have it. Just send me your guys' headshot for that, or whatever picture that you want to send. I'm not really into really professional headshots, so anything you guys want to send, and then any of these links, and I'll just make sure they're in the show notes.
Perfect.
Awesome. And You said 20 minutes, right? Because I have a call that I need to get on in 25 minutes.
Cool. Yeah.
So,
let's rock it out. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me go ahead and write down our time here.
And thank you again for
Of course.
having.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. The nice thing with 20 minutes is we can be concise and because then with the 5 investments, we can have it elaborate more there, but we can touch on them and the why.
Okay. Do you guys both use the last name Whitty?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I love talking to other entrepreneur couples. Okay. All right, you guys, welcome to the SweetLife podcast. We have a really special episode today in the house. We have Ta and Kole Whitty on the show. And today we're talking about how biohacking is the latest rage. Biohacking is certainly cool. And it's a new way of tapping into our greatest potential. However, we're going to learn today how biointegration is the key. And the reason why this show is so important and the reason why I ask these awesome people to be on it is because of the fact that as entrepreneurs, we require so much out of our bodies, but we never think about that when we're planning our business. It's always a funnel or a marketing strategy and all this other business development. And we don't take into consideration the most important asset, which is you, which is your body. So welcome to the show, Ta and Kole Whitty. I love that you guys are here. Tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about what you do, your background, and then let's dive in today and talk about the training you have for us.
Well, thank you for having us.
Sure. Yeah, we are thrilled to be here. And, we'll keep it concise because, who we are is whatever. But just as for a backstory, what we do now has evolved like anybody else's entrepreneurial journey. For myself, it went from working with at-risk youth after a coma from a drug overdose myself and finding if I'm going to stay on this planet, I need to find a way to make some purpose or something to hold on to because I didn't have anything. And so it was finding meaning. Where can I find meaning? And so I did Miss Utah Teen, competed at Miss Teen USA. It brought a lot of opportunities. However, I got caught up in wanting to help people, but it was to try to make up for everything I'd ever done wrong. It was almost like I was trying to save my soul in some kind of way. And after being a professional speaker and working with at-risk youth, primarily in addiction and trauma, that was the kickoff for my journey, but it came to a head at about 26 years old when my health completely crashed. Hypothyroidism, endometriosis, ovarian torsions, a 40-degree curvature of scoliosis in my spine. I'd had 26 broken bones. Did I say hypothyroidism? I can't even remember them all. And that's not what you expected a body at 26. And so it was kind of the universal sign that if I didn't do something about my body, nothing else was going to matter. You can have the greatest purpose and drive in the world, but everyone knows if your body crashes, everything stops. So everything stopped. And that was the turning point, got me into wellness, understanding inflammation, understanding what past trauma and how the body physically manifests past traumas. And that was the kickoff and beginning into then personal training and fitness on that capacity, which then, everything came full circle. And 10 years later, it's this culmination of wellness, trauma release, entrepreneurship. Now this is the basis of our business, is teaching others how to utilize their body and having a body launch plan, not just your, launch plan for a new product. And that gets me to here.
And so then there's me. So I have history in medicine for a long time. I I practiced as a registered nurse for 25 years in the clinical setting. 23 of those 25 years was in emergency medicine. So my chops at triage and understanding the disease processes, pathophysiology are really, really tight. And it came to a head when I just fell into a place where I felt like I was harming people by sending them to procedures that I know they didn't need, giving them medications that I know they didn't need. And I took an oath when I graduated from nursing school to do no harm. That was the first thing in my Hippocratic oath, was I vowed to do no harm. And I felt like I was harming people. So it started to have a grand amount of effect on my body. So I decided I wanted to leave nursing because I wanted to help people stay out of the hospital. And that's what I dedicated my life to. So I was also doing personal training and a lot of other modalities that had to do with the human body. And as I started to put things together, I actually fractured my spine in my last days at the hospital. I kept saying, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. And then my body said, okay, you're out of here, pal. And I fractured a vertebra and herniated a disc severely. Couldn't walk for 3 months. And I'm so grateful for that happening. I didn't like it, but I'm grateful for it happening because it opened my eyes to a ton of other explorations in myself. And that helped me to shift what I was doing with the private clients I was working with. And so that opened me up into really doing something that I used to call strategic personal alignment, which was helping people to align their bodies with the things they wanted to do in their lives. And that's when Kole and I got together. We started to do a lot of movement and nutrition programming for people, and things evolved into biointegration, where we help people to integrate their bodies into their lives' processes. And it has been nothing short of a joy to be able to help people, and mainly physicians, nurses, entrepreneurs, high-level people who are earning a lot of finance, getting their bodies in tandem with the things that they're doing in their lives.
Well, and that's what makes you guys such fabulous guests and experts to be on the show today, because you understand the body side, the health side of it, but you're also entrepreneurs. And, you know,
Yes.
a lot of you hear a lot of podcasts, a lot of health coaches come on and they'll speak to in their area of expertise. But in order to relate it back to entrepreneurship, you also know what it's like to launch things and build funnels and all these other things that our listeners deal with. But the fact of the matter is, and that's what we're talking about this whole month, is that the greatest asset is the actual body. It's not even the product or the course or the marketing plan or the brand strategy. It's the body and the mind. And so I'm super stoked you guys are here talking about it today. So you teach on 5 investments that align the body. Can you speak more on that today and help kind of guide us through that process?
Totally.
We sure can. Every client that we work with, we work in the background with this system of 5 investments that our clients need to invest in order to align their bodies with whatever they want to do in their lives. And it's worked flawlessly with each and every person.
Especially when it comes to, everyone's got the launch plan, right? You know when you're going to be doing your content emails or your blog posts, whatever. Having the 5 investments is really to help you stay in alignment to the body launch plan, because any entrepreneur that's done a launch ends up with a cold, severely, sleep deprived,
Headaches.
Especially that last week. So the 5 investments keep you in line with that, and Todd's going to break it down.
So the first investment is time, getting your body to acclimate to what it is that you're getting ready to do, knowing that you're going to be up late, long hours, knowing that you're going to be in front of a computer screen for a while, knowing that you're going to be in meetings, knowing that you have to be able to pay attention. You have to be able to invest time to get your body, before you even start the launch, to get your body ready for this type of situation. So actually training your body to stay up late, training your body for all of these things, training your body on how to be present is super important. So that time investment is the number one investment. The second investment is energy or effort. Putting the effort in is super important. You've got to actually stress your body so that it can actually change itself to acclimatize to what you need to do. So fitness is one thing. Brain puzzles is another thing. There's a whole slew of different things depending on what it is that you're doing, how you're launching, whatever your business is. It's getting yourself to be stressed to the point where your body can actually and your brain can actually change. The third thing is nutrition, hydration, and oxygenation. We call it new hydroxy as an acronym, right? So nutrition is super important. Hydration, super important. Oxygenation, super important. But if you have them out of tandem with each other for how you're looking to perform, things can get thrown out of alignment. If you're looking to be a quarterback, you don't want to eat like you're working in an office because then things don't work properly. So you have to get things in tandem with you for your body type, for your somatotype, for your gender, for where you live, for your altitude. All of these things have to work specifically for you and for what you're doing. That's the third investment. The fourth investment is movement and rest and relaxation. You have to move your body. You have to move. You have to do the activities that you need to do that are close to how you want to perform in order for your body to shift. So that's part of that energy cycle. And number two, we've got to get the body moving. We've got to get it juiced up. We've got to have all these things flowing. And then we have to have the inadequate amount of rest and relaxation so that the body can actually change itself. Because during REM sleep, during actual relaxation, that's when the body changes itself. So if you do all this exercise and you do all of these or these brain teasers and all of this stuff, and you don't allow the body to regenerate, it's not going to regenerate. It's just going to get fatigued and it's going to end up breaking down. So that relaxation, not just sleeping, but actually relaxation is super important for the body to regenerate itself. The fifth investment is a reflective and connective perspective. And that's a perspective that you actually connect with outside of yours to help you expand beyond. So these are perspectives about body, perspectives from other entrepreneurs, perspectives from other human beings on how they've handled things. So you can actually take tips from them and add it to yours. The stuff that doesn't work from you, you push it to the side with gratitude and you keep moving and you build your own structure. So we've helped people with these 5 investments to really put these things together and into action for them to come up with an awesome plan for themselves. And after we show them this stuff, they don't really need to come to us anymore because they know how to invest these things in themselves and they know how to switch it. They know how to write a plan, to make a plan, and put this plan in tandem with their business plan, with their activities, with their launches. All of these things fall into place.
You know, the main things, my last major launch was last year. It was a 27 expert panel, and it was called the Women's Womb Healing Summit. And so my launch plan was, when do I take my breaks, regardless of whether I am where I am in my content writing? Adding carbohydrates and lots of water and hydration powder, knowing that thinking so much was going to require more brain power, which means I need more water. And people, you know, when we get in that work mode and we're just snacking off to the side, not officially eating, not drinking enough water, is going to affect how you mentate. That's going to impact even how you're doing your sales pages. So I made sure every day, 15 minutes out in the sun, in the middle of the day, a little break. I'd grab my granola bowl that I pre-made in a mason jar and took it out to sit in the sun for that break, right? Go for a 10-minute walk, not exercise, just movement. And then something in that launch period, I chose to downregulate my nervous system because you can't sleep because you have so much to do, was going in a sensory deprivation tank, you know, to bring and downregulate that nervous system. By having all this, at the end, I didn't get sick. I didn't crash. And I said, wow, we as entrepreneurs are missing the somatic launch plan. What's our plan for our body for all this energy and all this work?
Wow, I'm so grateful that you have this system. I feel like this is something that I have never heard somebody actually speak on this before, that understands the parallels between the business launch world and what the body needs. And this is so imperative for success. So let me ask you some questions. So about how long, let's take a launch strategy, for example. If we say one of our listeners, the show is in the beginning of June. Let's say one of our listeners is ready to do a launch in usual launch time. Let's say September 1st. Most things launch in the beginning of September, right? And so they're listening to this show. We have about 3 months time. and they already should be starting to work and outline their launch plan for their business. How soon should somebody start going through this process? I have a feeling you're going to tell me they should always go through this process, probably, but like we're really strategically trying to line it up, considering an actual launch, whether it's a course launch or a book launch or a mastermind launch or whatever it is. How does that time frame work, and based on your recommendations?
I mean, you answered it, right? Always having a plan to keep yourself and how you want to function and perform. Like you mentioned at the beginning, biohacking's cool. It's awesome. But biointegration is key, because what can happen if we're continually hacking into the body, we're not listening to it, and it's still perpetuating us against our body, which always ends in a crash. So when you are in a consistent plan for your body and listening to it, it will tell you during the launch plan, like we were discussing earlier with a flow state as a surfer, when you're first catching that wave, when your body has healthier mechanisms and habits built in, it will tell you what it needs when it's on the verge, when it's been taxed for too long, when it's exhausted. It will tell you.
So as early as possible. From my perspective, from the work we've done with people and the work we do with ourselves, as early as possible, get an idea of what your launch looks like so that you can really start to get your body prepared leading up to it. 3 months is a great jump off time. When you look at professional athletes, they start 3 months, before the season to start really getting juiced up and getting into the groove of things. So, and they have a baseline of how their bodies perform, and then they bring it back up to it. So having a baseline, getting yourself into a slump where you're drinking for 6 months straight and you're not doing anything and you're eating pizza and all of this stuff, your body's going to fall into a place where you have to play catch up. And you don't want to ever really have to be in catch up mode. So you have your baseline, you have that baseline of optimization. And when you can move that optimization higher within that 3 months before your launch, I would say that's a really good sweet spot.
Yeah, understanding and just learning a little bit about your own nervous system and how it functions, that if you're getting into that 60 days leading up when it becomes daily action instead of maybe just, a weekly kind of cultivation of everything, then looking at what movement practice do you need? If you're stressed out, doing high intensity may not function for some and function for others. Because if your adrenals are taxed, you're having 4 cups of coffee, doing high intensity is going to drive your body into the ground. So on the flip side, if you feel amazing after the high intensity because you let the stress out, you feel incredible. So starting to learn your body and saying, okay, because of my stress, I need to slow down my body. So I'm going to do a yoga practice, every morning for 15 minutes, even if it's just your own personal practice, to offset what your nervous system needs, not just, I'm stressed, so I need to work out hard. That's usually whatever you logically think is usually the opposite of what you need. So if you're high energy and stressed, slow it down, slow the breathing down, and get back into your body, as we call it.
Right.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And investing, no worries. And investing time is not just for your body. It's investing the time to get a team around you so that you can actually downregulate your nervous system. If you're worried about your kids being picked up from school, hire somebody to do it. If you're concerned about somebody walking your dogs, hire somebody to do it. The extra few bucks that you pay will allow you to get more into your body so that your body can be truly optimized. When you're stressed and you're in fight or flight mode, you cannot mentate properly because your brain is constantly shutting your mind out. So it's really important for you to downregulate, and that means investing in a team as well.
So make it a part of the launch plan costs. Do you need a massage twice a week because your neck gets tight and then you get a headache and then you're seeing double on the screen because you're staring at it for 16 hours? Make it part of what you're planning for cost-wise. 2 massages a week, just relaxing massages to help. And as Alex Sharfin says, who's an entrepreneur speaker, it's lowering the pressure and the noise during that period as much as possible. Hire someone to clean your house. Make this a part of the plan so you can function optimally to assume success, knowing that when you take care of yourself, that always translates into the outcome in your business.
Wow, you guys, this is so powerful, and I just appreciate your expertise so much. So let's do a really quick recap. So the 5 different investments are: number 1, investment of your time, or investment in time. Step 2 is the effort and the energy. Step 3 is nutrition, hydration, and oxygenation, in all of them together. And what was your acronym for that again?
New hydroxy.
And there you have it. I love it. Number 4, movement with rest and relaxation cycles. And I have notes down here just from what you talked about earlier, just helping the brain and the body to regulate and learn everything that you've been doing. I think that's so important. It's that the resting time is not emphasized enough. So really, I love that you said that as well. And then the reflective and the perspective based on what somebody has learned. Did I do an okay job recapping that?
Awesome.
Okay. Wow. This is so informative. Thank you guys so much. How can people find more from you and get more resources? I will, of course, make sure everything is available in the show notes for this show. This is episode number 125. So everything will be at sweetlifepodcast.com/125. But tell us more about how people can connect with you guys. Tahkole.com,
which is TAHKOLE.com. We also have a video library that we break down through presentation, a lot of concepts so that it's easy, digestible, and all the videos are under 10 minutes, or most of them. And we do monthly events. We lead trips for entrepreneurs. We're doing a trip to Tonga to swim with humpback whales next year. So you can get all of our events and get in contact with us there, or on Facebook, Kole and Whitty.
Yeah.
All right.
All the interweb places.
You guys, seriously, that is one of my dream places to go.
Come with us.
I might,
October 2020.
I might actually. So that sounds like right up my alley. You guys are awesome. It's been such a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for the really important work that you guys are doing.
Thank you. We love it.
It's an honor. And it's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.